yeah, so one thing led to another, and I remember I started doing a couple tracks for the Stoop, from the producer from the Jedi Mind Tricks. He was doing a producer album, and he sent me a couple tracks to do. He's like, would you get on this? I was like, yeah, definitely, man. I think your work is dope. Your music's fire. So he wound up sending me the track. I wound up doing one song, sent it back to him. He loved it. The people at his label and at Soil loved it. Winded up sending me a second track. Wound up recording that. And I was loving how things were coming out. It was like, something special was going on, Wound up sending it back. They wound up loving it again. And they were like, Stoop's looking to do a producer album, but what about him coming out to LA? Because he was based in Philadelphia and introducing some players out there. Because I know a ton of players in LA. Because he wants to get some live instrumentation on his producer album. I said, yeah, sure. He came out here. We wound up doing a third song just for the heck of it. And then it wound up going to, hey, what about doing an EP? Just Eamon and Stoop EP. And it wound up going to, hey, let's just do a whole entire album. And it was like real organic. It didn't come from anywhere. Nothing was forced. Just getting in the studio, writing, recording, and seeing where it goes. Like I said, I grew up singing a lot of 50s doo-wop, 60s soul stuff. So that was always, that's my bread and butter. I'm a encyclopedia when it comes to 50s music. Like, it's like weird, I know by within a bar, I know what song it is, what year it came out, who sang it, whatever the case is. So like my music was always ho-wop, hip hop, doo-wop type of stuff. Did I really perfect that sound? I don't ever think so. There's a couple songs I was like, that's somewhat ho-wop, and I'm like, man, it's the record I've always wanted to do. I remember talking to Stoop. I remember talking to the label. And hey, you guys want to do that? Like a late 60s type of, dope doo-wop backgrounds, some hip-hop influence. I'm talking about big horn sections, a couple orchestral songs, just with my writing, and Stoop's producing. We winded up bringing a couple other producers, Dan Ubik from Connie Price and the Keystones. Well, they've got like an old, late 60s soul funk type of feel to them. That his whole band, we brought them into the situation with Dan co-producing, and we also brought in Snipe Young, who co-produced a lot of the record too, who's a beast. His mind is wild with vocal harmonies and also with his production as with music. He's a talented dude, So we had like different people involved in the project. It was just like a perfect match. We just started making song after song after song, and I never really got to write about the madness that I went through. You know what I'm saying? And really at the same time, it's like, man, like I get to write something that means something and also do the record I always wanted to do. Like really do a record that like my father would put on and say, my boy did the record I grew him up on. It's something that I've always wanted. And it really was a blessing. It's really been a blessing this whole entire time where I went through situations in my past where I came to a dead end where I said, life is over. I was listening to the naysayers. I totally just gave up on myself. I had no faith whatsoever. I just said like, this is the end, But there came a point where, like I said, divine revelation, where it just, things started to open up for me. And I started to have that faith type of thing. I started to say, Eamon, this has nothing to do with you. Just keep on putting one foot in front of the other. Let's see what happens. No expectations type of deal. And then this landed on my door, man, where it's a situation where I'm able to make a record, where I'm able to tell my story and do the sonically what I've always wanted to do, I couldn't have written it up like this. I was at a place where like I thought it was over. So to be able to do this and still have a shot, I was like, this is beautiful. This is a blessing. So